This is a study entitled Work Ethics of the New Generation of Teachers in the High School Department of L.VARGAS College. My name is WILFREDO A. Jaucian, LPT, Prefect of Discipline in the High School Department of L.VARGAS College, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, July 2021. Work Ethics of the New Generation of Teachers in the High School Department of L.VARGAS College. Introduction. Teachers' work ethics is one of the key factors in the school environment and in the overall educational process. It is important that a teacher possesses and cultivates the highest standards of work ethics and is a role model for students. A high level of work ethics thus becomes an indispensable requirement for the teaching profession and all other educational professions. To find out how teachers perform in their work, this research focuses on the next generation of teachers. Millennials or new generations have different priorities than other generations, but they still have a strong work ethic. However, this doesn't have to be a problem. When millennials have this freedom in their job to adapt their working hours to their other commitments, and when they given room to flourish, they are more likely to show loyalty and devotion than older generations desire the ultimate fulfillment and satisfaction in their endeavors. Earlier generations often speculate that millennials' work ethic is weaker than their own. The hearsay of the typical millennials make them lazy, spoiled, and legitimate. They are far too sensitive to take the healthy dose of criticism they so desperately need. Many claims that millennials in general strive to do everything right and become the most productive teachers. This will likely lead to constant requests for feedback. Work ethics is to constantly improve and do things right, but not within the limits of typical work hours. Contrary to what is claimed, there are numerous internet blogs out there pointing out many flaws indicating for millennial work ethics, but as very digital millennial knows, that doesn't mean it's true just because it's written on the internet. If you're looking for factual, data-backed evidence of how millennials' work ethic essentially compares to their older counterparts, the result might surprise you. Based on this narrative, this investigation will continue. Hence, this study entitled Work Ethics of the New Generation of Teachers in the High School Department of L.VARGAS College. Specifically, it sought to find answers to the following. 1. What profile do the respondents have in relation to 1.1 age, 1.2 gender, 1.3 civil status, 1.4 higher educational attainment, 1.5 length of service. 2. Which ethical indicators are manifesting themselves in the workplace among the new generation of teachers? 3. What effects do the ethical indicators of the new generation of teachers have on their work commitment? 4. What proposed programs are being developed to address ethical issues in the workplace? 2. Brief review of literature and studies. Work ethics is a set of values based on hard work and care. It is also a belief in the moral usefulness of work and its ability to improve character. It includes reliability, initiative, or the pursuit of new skills. Workers who do not have a good work ethic may not be deemed appropriate to receive fair value for wages paid by the employer and should not be promoted or placed in positions of greater responsibility, according to Triparty 2014. Today, researchers measure work ethic using the multidimensional work ethics profile, better known as MWEP. The scale was designed and captures an objective picture of the person's work ethics by measuring it in 7 dimensions, according to M. Miller of 2002. Work ethics can be dismissed as a set of beliefs and attitudes that reflect the fundamental value of work, according to Miller et al. In 2002. They argue that work ethics is not a uniform construct, but a constellation of attitudes and beliefs about work behavior. They postulated that work ethic A is multidimensional, B relates to work and work-related activities in general, not specific to any particular job, but may generalize to areas other than work, such as school, hobbies, and so on and so forth. C is learned. D relates to attitudes and beliefs, not necessarily behavior. E is a motivational construct that is reflected in behavior. And F is secular and not necessarily tied to any particular religious belief based on the previous literature and original empirical research. Miller et al. Identified 7 components or dimensions that they believe make up the ethical construct. The dimensions are referred to as centrality work, self-employment, hard work, leisure, moral or ethics, delay and tipping, and waste of time, according to Miller et al. In 2002. Simola and Sutton 2002 examined generational differences in work values and samples from 1974 and 1999 and came to the conclusion that differences in the dimension of the construct are more due to cohort effects than to age. However, their sample did not include enough millennials to include them in their analysis. Pogson et al. 2003 used the multidimensional work ethic profile or MWEP of Miller et al. Of 2002 to directly examine differences in work ethics as a function of career level. In particular, Pogson et al. Uses age to match people to career level and shows differences between career levels in terms of different dimensions of work ethic, a limitation of the Pogson et al. However, a cross-sectional design was used in the study with people at different career levels completing the work ethic measure. This approach compuses any generation differences with age or career level. Hence, this study examined the work ethic of millennials. 3. Research methodology. This study used the descriptive purposive design in the collection of information to assess the work ethics of the new generation of teachers who are permanent in the high school department of L.VARGAS College. A sample was not drawn in this study because the respondents identified are directly involved in the work ethic and high school department of L.VARGAS College. However, a total enumeration was used because all millennial teachers in the high school department of L.VARGAS College who are permanent participated in the study. Since the research tool was a self-structured survey form, it has been validated by the research experts and consists of 4 parts. In the first part of the questionnaire, data of respondents such as age, gender, civil status, highest educational attainment, and the length of service were collected, while in the second part of indicators of the work ethic of the new generation of teachers at the workplace were collected. In the third part of the questionnaire, the effects of the ethical indicators of the new generation of teachers on their work ethics were measured. The fourth part contains the suggestions and recommendations of the respondents, which serve as a reference for developing a program model of the study. In the statistical treatment of the data, the profile of the respondents was analyzed using frequency numbers and percentage distribution. However, the weighted mean was used to measure the ethical indicators that are manifesting themselves in the workplace among the generation of teachers. The effects identified by the respondents and their suggestion recommendations were treated through a simple data count. 4. Findings and discussions. 1. Profile of the respondents. In Table 1, entitled Frequency and Percentage Distribution of the Respondents According to Age, Table 1 shows that the age bracket of 21-23 has the greatest number of respondents with a frequency of 5 or 55.56%, while very few have the age bracket of 27 and above years old with a frequency of 1 or 11.12%. In Table 2, frequency and percentage distribution of respondents according to gender. Table 2 shows that majority of the respondents are female while very few respondents are male. This implies that new generation of teachers in the high school department are female dominated. In Table 3, entitled Frequency and Percentage Distribution of Responses According to Civil Status, the Table 3 this shows that most of the respondents were single with a total of 7 or 77.78%, while 2 or 22.22% is married. This implies that the respondents have familiar and have greater responsibilities to attend to. In Table 4, frequency and percentage distribution of respondents according to their highest educational attainment. Table 4 shows that most of the respondents are college graduates while a few are with master's degree. This implies that majority of respondents are educated and professionals. In Table 5, entitled Frequency and Percentage Distribution of Respondents According to their length of service, the Table 5 shows that all respondents with a frequency of 9 or 100% of the study have been employed 3 to 5 years in the high school department. This implies that they are fully informed and have an established set of work ethics in the organization in terms of the length of their service. 2. Indicators of work ethics manifested in the workplace by the new generation of teachers in the high school department of L.VARGAS College. In Table 6, entitled Weighted Mean, the descriptive interpretation of the indicators of work ethics manifested in the workplace by the new generation of teachers in the high school department of L.VARGAS College, with 11 indicators: commitment, determined, desire to improve, enthusiastic focus, industrious integrity, positive promptness, reliable, and sense of professionalism. Table 6 shows the item 1, 3, 7, and 11 were described as 100% very evident, and the remaining items have also very evident result but lesser than that of items 1, 2, and 3, and 11. This implies that the indicators of work ethics of teachers of L.VARGAS College in the high school department of the generally establish a very evident result based on their weighted mean. 3. Effects of the ethical indicators of the new generation of teachers on their work ethics in the high school department of L.VARGAS College. In Table 7, entitled Effects of the Ethical Indicators of the New Generation of Teachers on their Work Ethics in the High School Department of L.VARGAS College, there are 10 ethical indicators that, as revealed in Table 7, items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10 have very high results, while the remaining items 8 and 9 have resulted to high effects of the ethical indicators. Generally, the overall weighted mean was described as very high. This implies the work ethics of the new generation employees on their work commitment were positively and relatively very high. For suggestions and recommendations. Suggestion recommendations from the respondents are: the new generation of teachers in the high school department of L.VARGAS College should have clear goals and objectives for work, have appropriate mentoring for their personal development, should be a good example for the next generation of teachers, a decent work environment, and be professional. And 4. Conclusion. Based on the above results of the study, the conclusion is drawn. The results show that the work ethics of the new generation teachers in the high school department of L.VARGAS College in terms of their work engagement was positive and relatively high. Recommendations. The recommendations of the study are the following. The school to conduct an orientation program to further enhance the good work ethics of teachers, to have clear goals and objectives for the work, have adequate supervision for their personal development, be a good example for the next generation of teachers, and create an appropriate work environment and be professional work. And 6. References. There are 2 classification of references used: the published books that are indicated here, the different authors, and also the journal articles also indicated here in this reference section, the different sites where this information used in the review of related literature were properly recognized, especially in the text citation. Thank you.